Okay. So here we go. 15 degrees, 59 minutes, and 15 seconds. So do you remember how to convert this to degrees? We said treat this like you're adding these pieces, because you are. And remember that 1 minute is the same as 1/60 degrees, and that 1 second is equal to 1/3600 degrees. Okay. Now what I want you to do is remember, the degrees part is not gonna do anything to the very end, so just ignore it. Remember that this is 59 times 1 minute plus 15 times 1 second. Okay, so plug in the minute, 1/60. So now that's in degrees. Plug in the 15 times 1/3600. Now that's also in degrees once you multiply. Let me switch the microphone since we're not using it. Okay. So let's do the math here. This will give us 15 degrees plus 59/60. Time for a calculator. 15/3600 degrees. So calculator time. Give you my most fanciest calculator I've ever seen here. 59 divided by 60. $15 divided by 3600. Let me put some more decimal points and then I'll round later. One moment.
Do you want to put all the decimal points in for 59 divided by 60? And then add it to all the decimal points for 15/3600 plus the
Yeah, I
15.
think that's what we should do. Let me get a better calculator. Do it all
Yeah,
at once.
on the homework as well, that's how they like operate. Like it'll say it's wrong just by a couple decimals if you don't put the whole answer of all those decimals.
Yeah.
59/60 is 0.98333333. It just continues.
Sounds right. All right. So I'm going to skip this. I'm going to go ahead and add them together at the same time. Righty then. So I get 0.9875, which is going to be,
I got 15.9875 is the final answer.
yeah, that should be good. They said around at 2 decimal places, so We'll stop here. Any questions on number 5? Not too bad, right?
No, easy.
Okay, just let me know if anyone, if I lost anyone along the way, or if I made no sense, just tell me. Or I can add more steps. All right, let's move on to 6. 6 is actually pretty straightforward. Convert to radians. Remember, I told you you got to multiply by something specific. So 105 degrees. Let me write that better. So in order to do so, you multiply by the conversion factor, pi over 180 degrees. So I want to cancel degrees, so it's on the bottom. So we get 105 pi degrees over 180 degrees. Dang it. So these are gone. That'll reduce to 7 pi over 12. Okay. Go the other direction. Do you have any questions on going from degrees to radians?
No, thank you.
So this guy, he'll do the same. Oh, the posting, the recordings I send on post on YouTube, and then I send it to the link through Remind. I haven't posted the last class, so tomorrow I'm gonna post both Mondays and Wednesdays. So if I'm canceling radians, that works. You get 10 pi times 180 over pi, 7 pi. These pi's cancel, leaving me with 1800 degrees over 7. Not very pretty, but 1800 is not divisible by, double check, 7. So that's good enough. Any question on the conversions? Yeah, moving on to something else. If you're good, let me know.
I'm good.
Okay. Number 8. I was just trying to run a circle with radius 10. Okay. Let me post the question in the chat that way. I don't have to share the screen. One-third radian. So an object is traveling around a circle with a radius of 10 centimeters. In 20 seconds, the central angle of 1/3 is swept out. What is the linear speed? I believe that was, I forgot what notation we used. Did we use, let me see, I think it was omega or V, maybe. Let's see. Doesn't matter, I guess. Yeah, we said, yeah, here's the formula. V is equal to S over T, where S is equal to R times theta. Double check that as well. Yes. Theta must be in radians. Okay. So we have R. We have theta. We have time. 20 seconds, right? So S would be equal to R times theta, which is 10 centimeters times 1/3. So that'll be 10 centimeters over 3. So velocity would be S over time, the arc length. This is arc. That's arc length. So 10 centimeters over 3 divided by 20 seconds. So that'll give us 10 centimeters over 60 seconds, which is oops. Let me see if they have it in decimal form or not. No, they don't. These zeros cancel. 1 over 6 centimeters per second. Any questions on 8? Okay. Number 9. They say 2 sides of a right triangle ABC, where C is a right angle. Okay. Find the indicate trig function. Given the angle, give the exact answers only. So no calculator stuff, I guess. All right. So we have a right triangle. They gave us side A and B. Doesn't matter which one's which. It's all good. The hypotenuse, C, is equal to A squared plus B squared, which means that C is the square root of A squared plus B squared. It's the square root of 4 plus 25, which is 29. Right? The question they're asking is, find secant of B when A is 2, B is 5. That's where this came from. Okay. So the issue is, if I chose to put A here, that means capital A is there. They said the right angle is C. A is always opposite to little a. Little b is opposite to capital B. So secant is equal to hypotenuse over, what is secant? Is it adjacent? It's 1 over cosine, so it should be the reciprocal of cosine, which is adjacent over hypotenuse. Right, guys? So root 29 over the adjacent side to B be here. Any questions on what we did? Just remember, A and little a are opposite sides. So here's my angle A. So opposite is 2, right? Here's angle B, opposite is 5. So depending on where you put these will determine where the the angles are, okay? The labeling. The general labels should be like,
Would the adjacent be 5 then, not 2? Because 2 is opposite. So it would be square root of 29 over 5.
yeah, so well, opposite to B is 5.
Okay, gotcha.
Adjacent is 2.
Okay.
So that's how you should think about it. Lowercase opposite to capital. Capital opposite to lowercase. Hypotenuse opposite to right angle. Okay. Any other questions on 9? Okay, move on to 10. So given, I'm going to shorten the question, that tangent of theta is equal to 3, find sine. So build your triangle. Tangent would be the same as opposite over adjacent. So if I put theta here, opposite would be 3, adjacent would be 1, right? Because there's always a 1 technically underneath. To find the hypotenuse, 1 squared plus 3 squared, that'll be square root 10. So sine theta would be equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Rationalize. And that's it. Any questions on 10? They only asked for sine, so. Okay. So let me know. Find the exact value for tangent of pi over 6. No calculators. So what you would do is remember that tangent is defined as sine over cosine. So sine of pi over 6 on the unit circle, that's going to be what? One half, right? Cosine would be root 3 over 2. So if you multiply the fractions, you get this. Rationalize. You would get to here. Any questions on 11? Okay. Now here's a word problem. The radio transmission tower is 230 feet tall. How long should a guy wire be if it is attached 10 feet from the top and it's to make an angle of 33 degrees with the ground. Give your answer to the nearest tenth of a foot. Okay. All right, so we got some tower. Whatever. This is 230 feet total. And they attach a guy wire 10 feet from the top. So a guy wire, just like a wire that's kind of stabilizes it. Righty. We don't know how long the wire is, but we do know that when we're looking upward at it, it forms an angle of 33 degrees. And we know that this would be 220 because it's 10 feet below the height of the tower. So find your hypotenuse. Okay. So what trig function would you use?
Would we use sine?
Yeah, I think sine or cosecant would be best. Sine of 33 is equal to opposite, right? Over hypotenuse, which is what they want. Yeah. So if I solve for h, that's it. So do some algebra. H would be 220 feet over sine 33, which is approximately something. Check that you're in degrees. If not, 403.9 feet. I did some algebra to get from here to here. Is there any questions about the setup, how we got to H, and etc.?
That makes sense. I had a question. I use the TI 36, the Pro, and
Uh-huh.
if we're gonna do the cosecant and stuff, we just do the inverse of sine,
No, do 1 over,
1 over. Okay.
because inverse is different, which we'll go over next, probably Wednesday.
Oh, okay. So just 1 over. Okay. So if it asks us like if it's asking for cosecant, then just 1 over.
Yeah. Because if you use the inverse button, these are different on top, the ones in blue.
Yeah.
Sine inverse, cos, those are different functions. They give you angles. They're not reciprocals. This inverse button might do it, but I would just do 1 over sine to get cosecant, 1 divided by cosine to get secant, etc.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm. 13. Find the exact value of, they give us tangent theta equal to -2/5. And then they tell us that theta is in quadrant 2. Find cosine theta. All right. If theta is in quadrant 2, is x or y negative?
X.
Yeah, so opposite over adjacent, the adjacent side would be negative. Hypotenuse will be root 29, right? Find cosine. Cosine theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, which is -5 over root 29. Rationalize. And that's it. That is your answer. Any questions on 13? All right, I'm going to skip 14 because it's pretty simple. 15 is just a unit circle question, so I'm going to skip that. Go ahead and show you. Well, I guess I gotta write this down. I think this is 16. Given that y is equal to -3 sine of 4x, find the amplitude. What is the amplitude?
Three.
Yeah. Amplitude, we said, is equal to the absolute value of a, which in this case is the absolute value of -3. So 3. $17. Given that y is equal to cosine 5x, find the period. What is the period? I think what do we call it? Do we call it B in the notes? Right?
I think so.
No, you know what?
Or was it D? Wait, I don't remember.
I think the coefficient was the B, right? 2 pi over B. So 2 pi over 5. I forget what the note said, but this is the answer. Whatever you can factor out on the x would be what goes down here. Because it's 5 times faster, so that means the period would be 5 times shorter. So the original is 2 pi, so divide by 5. Or use this formula, same thing. So for the last few questions, they're asking you to match graphs, so just either, I mean, I'm not gonna require any work for these, so you can either A, graph it yourself, or remember what the original looks like and shift it by pi over 2. And you're gonna see it's gonna be this, shifted once. Secant, remember what the original secant looks like? It's shifted by pi over 2. Alrighty. This one just give me a sketch. Doesn't have to be perfect. Again, you can use a grapher if you want, or just give me a good estimate. But that's pretty much it. The first few up top, don't do them. I'll probably delete them. I'm not sure yet what to do with it. So we don't do that chapter anymore. Do you guys have any questions about the review or just general random questions about the homework?
I had a question. I submitted the ISLO assignment, but I still haven't
Oh.
gotten the email. It's been a while.
Let me check on that. It said that it would email you right away, or
It doesn't give me a time period, but it doesn't. I don't know how long it would take.
okay. Well, it should be. I mean, I don't know if it's instantaneous or if you have to. Someone has to like do it, you know. Give me a sec. I'll check right now. Today's the 20th.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm opening all the homework. It'll be due next Thursday. Next week on Thursday. It'll be similar to the review, Natasha. Okay, let's see. ISLO. Yeah, and make sure you've done the ISLO if you haven't already. Let's see, before you complete the assignment form. You put your school email and everything?
Yes, I did. I made sure it was correct.
Okay. Read the scenario. Where did it say that it would email you? Was it the video or just somewhere on the?
The video, because it says we have to upload the PDF in order for it to be like graded.
Oh, okay. Yes. I believe I have your upload. Yeah, I have 2 people who have done it so far. What's your last name?
Mendiola?
The heck? On your first name, sorry, I can't seem to find you.
Blanca.
There you are. There you are. Okay. I don't see an upload in the assignment itself. Did you upload it somewhere else?
No, I can't upload it because I haven't gotten the email. That's what I'm like. I don't know how long the email takes to arrive, but it's been a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the bottom it says yeah, let me double check with the people that created this. Let me get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh wait, here we go. You will receive a PDF of your results through ACE's form site. Upload the PDF to this assignment. So within this assignment, there should be a submit button. That's what you gotta do.